right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, Aaron Rodgers was recently on the official Jets podcast and talked about, a bunch of different topics, but one topic stood out specifically, and it was regarding wide receiver Malachi Corley. As we all know, the New York Jets drafted him, in fact, traded up to go draft him in the third round. So Aaron Rodgers actually said that Malachi Corley was his quote-unquote favorite receiver in the draft, and goes on to say, quote, he might not have been the best on paper in the draft, but I really felt like he was going to fit in with what we're trying to do. His mindset, his ferocity. And I think Rodgers is right here. When you watch Corley play, he's like a wrecking ball out there. He's not 6'4", 240 pounds, I get that, but he's 5'11", 200 pounds. This guy's like bouncing off people. He's hard to bring down in open space. He's shifty, but he's stout, right? Kind of built similarly to a Tyreek Hill. I'm not calling him Tyreek Hill or anything like that, but they have the same body type, if you know what I mean. And you look at Corley, what he was able to do back at Western Kentucky. He was ultra productive from 2021 through 2023, but 2022 was his best season, where he just had, he barely missed out on those 1,300 receiving yards. I think it was 1,295, 11 TDs, also had 11 TDs in 2023. But he also had over 100 catches in 2022. Started, by the way, I believe in 47, or appeared rather in 47 games throughout his Western Kentucky collegiate career. Now, that's insane. And of course, you can push back and say, all right, well, you look at the Hilltoppers offense, they throw the football a ton under Tyson Helton. I get it completely, but at the same time, Malachi Corley was a playmaker. He was reliable. And one thing too that also stands out about Malachi was, I remember when word got out that the Jets really liked him in the pre-draft process. I want to say like 2 to 3 weeks before the draft started, I was really trying to do like a lot of homework on him, and it was really cool to see all the interviews with other players, his peers, coaches, and whatnot, talk about just him as a person, right? Work ethic, practices hard, good guy to be around. He seems like an awesome fit for the Jets culture. He seems like a leader. He to me at least seems like somebody who leads by example, which I really, really like. I'm tired of the headlines, the storylines, the talking about other teams, talking about the media. I don't like that at all from the Jets' perspective. I want more leaders on this football team, and I think that's what Malachi Corley is. Now, of course, on the field, again, we can talk about the collegiate numbers, but, how does he project into this Hackett-led offense? I think he projects really well, as that obvious inside slot guy. You just get him the football early in routes and just watch him work. But it's not to say that he can't do anything, right, as far as, creating in the intermediate or deep parts of the field. I'm actually really excited to see Corley's growth. Right, I understand people are talking about the slants and the screens and, potentially special teams impact, but, who's to say that Corley's reached his ceiling? I certainly have not, haven't gotten there. I think over time, Malachi Corley, especially with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the football, and also a lot of reps, I'm assuming in practice and in preseason, and then once we hit regular season, he's going to see a lot of time. So I think with these amount of games and reps and whatnot, Malachi Corley could get a lot better as the months go by here. He has the speed, he has the acceleration, he has the playmaking ability. I wouldn't rule out seeing the Jets maybe utilize him in packages over the middle of the field or off of play action, along with the stuff that he did at Western Kentucky, along with even trick plays as well. Now, something that is pretty interesting is the whole Xavier Gibson aspect to this, because I am a big fan of Gibson. I like him a lot, and I don't really want to see one take the other's place and then just bury him on the depth chart. I don't think that'll be the case. I think the Jets will use both guys. But definitely Corley, right? Obviously he was a rookie third-round pick that the Jets traded up for. And in Rodgers' words here, it was his favorite receiver in the draft. And look, being 100% honest, it is fair to ask the question, all right, well, what is Rodgers supposed to say? Is it just, like this big coincidence that the Jets drafted Rodgers' favorite in the third round? It's surely up for debate, but it does seem like Rodgers really, really likes him. And that plus what he did in college, plus where we drafted him, plus how he fits the culture and system, and also just adding another weapon to this Jets offense, I think I think we're really going to see a big year from Malachi. I'm not, not 1,400 yards or anything, but I could see 700, 800 yards in year one from Malachi Corley, which I think would be flat out awesome. Flat out awesome. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Hope you're having a great time. Thanks so much, and as always, go Jets.